Hey there everybody. As I'm sitting here watching Twang and Bang, I believe this is, he's talking about extractor issues, ejecting, and what all is going on with the Generation 3s and the 4s. Right here I have my Generation 319. This is clear. There's nothing in there. Right now I'm doing the trigger guard. It's coming out really nice so far. I'm getting it worked out, but I wanted to get a nice curve on it and a purchase point. But what I wanted to talk about, this guy right here. As you can see on mine, I just have the flat extractor on here right now. Now there is one with a little dimple on it, I guess you can call it, like right about here I believe it is. And I have it in my toolbox for my extra Glock parts. Anyways, on the one that has the little dimple, that's the trigger, or the chamber indicator. I'm gonna go out and shoot this. I'll make another video, but I wanted to make a point with this extractor, which I believe this one is the original or the MEM one. This wasn't my issue. What my issue was, not pertaining on this gun, but on the Generation 4s. Well, actually on this, the extractor was broken on the gun originally when I bought it, and I took the extractor out, and like a chunk of it, when it does come out, it just lifts out, or you can smack it out. And on the back side of it, there's like a little moon cut. Well, it had a chunk more taken out of it, so I had this laying around. I just threw it in there, you know, and since then I have one with a chamber indicator on it, but I put that in and I really wanted to see if it made a difference. I used 124 grain ammo with this, 124 grain with the original extractor with the chamber indicator, and I noticed that it was pretty similar in where it was extracting and, you know, landing. It wasn't very much different sporadically until I started using plus P ammo and just hotter grain ammo, and then you would notice that it got right on point with each extractor. I could just, you know, I popped them in and out real quick. And with the plus P ammo and the hotter grain defensive rounds, those flied out of they flew a little, like a lot more, not a little bit more, a lot more out of that ejection port. It was definitely noticeable in that sense, that when I was shooting the higher grain, hotter loads, that I was getting better ejection, and every now and then brass to the face. Now we're talking with multiple Glock armors. This is just something that they kind of don't want to tell me, but when it comes to this firearm, get used to it. I don't know about you, but you know, if that's something I have to get used to, then it's cool. You know, it's not affecting me with, you know, being able to hit my second shots, third shots, or whatever. It's just something that goes along with the gun. Now, on the Gen 3 trigger bar, you're not going to have that dimple. If you have the Generation 4s, or you do end up with a Glock with that dimple on the trigger bar, get rid of that. I recommend taking it down. If you have to, send it to a gunsmith, or if you're going to do it yourself, get rid of that crap. It is, if you look at it, if you break the slide down and actually look, you can see why it might, like, you know, give the dead casing a slowdown process. So if you have a Generation 419 early edition that's got this extractor too, I guess it plays part into that dimple and can cause you a double whammy. And like I said, I just noticed that hotter loads are out of there, and I'm moved on and not really taking brass to the face. But with my 124 grain just target ammo, it's just something, you know, that I'm not gonna say all the time happens, but it happens sometimes, and I've become less worried about it, I guess you could say, in the sense that, you know, yeah, it's flipping up or whatever, you know. It's not, even if I was in a gunfight, I really don't, it's never hit me in the eyeball or anything like that so far, but it could happen. I just wanted everyone to know that has this issue to not freak out, man. Go buying every fucking extractor on the market. Zev Technologies, the, you know, titanium bazooka fucking extractor. The 19 is a little finicky when it comes to ammo, yeah. That is just, I'm sorry, no, I did not go buy 15 different extractors and ejectors and nothing. I simply went and bought some hotter ammo and just kept on shooting until I noticed that I was getting less to the face. Now, if you're not in full agreement with this, then that's understandable. I mean, I kind of went through it myself with the spending money on different parts for this. But, you know, with the extractor, you're talking about $5, $6, $10 at the most, you know, whatever. So I grabbed a couple of those. I always grab a couple of, if I'm going to buy a spring, I buy a couple of them so that, you know, every 3,000 rounds or so, you're going to want to give it a tune-up, you know what I'm saying? So that's just me, whatever, you know. So I buy a couple of extractors, a couple of springs and plungers and cups, just to have around, you know. There's nothing wrong with that if you're a shooter, and to have extra parts in a piece that you carry. I'd rather have a new part in there than to find out in the middle of a gunfight that I need to replace a part. So in the long run, this video, I'm getting on to 8 minutes here. I just wanted to let you guys know, if you're getting brassed to the face or in or around the face, don't freak out. Your 19 is very healthy, and I'm sorry if you're so finicky about having a casing go down in your boobies or something, and it's really affecting you that much. There's no firearm out there yet to this day, unless there's just some shit I don't know, that the perfect firearm that doesn't do nothing wrong, that will never jam, never throw ammo at your toe, or never break. The day that they make a firearm that does not break is the day that no one will ever have to buy another gun, unless that's, you know, your thing, and you just need one gun for self-defense, carry, life, liberty, whatever. You don't want to have no more fun in life, and you just want to shoot one damn gun. Well, this is almost it, but it needs a tune-up every now and then. And another thing I'm coming to find out, I'm so glad I did not roll with them, frog lube. Like anything in life that is easy, it comes back to bite you in the ass. So you put this gooby shit on your gun. You got all these people goobing their gun up, talking about, you just wipe it down, you don't have to use no solvents or nothing. And then you wonder why it goobs down into your striker, your hammer, all up in your slide, and it oozes out of chambers and orifices that, what the shit. After 3,000-4,000 rounds, you put this shit on there, and this is the end result. Almost can call it another tune-up job, but I just would rather clean my freaking gun with a solvent and lubrication. I just find repetition of cleaning firearms like that to be much easier than relying on something that I put a one-time treatment and don't have to worry about it no more. Like, it just never made sense to me, bio or non. I never dug it, and I'm not gonna begin now to, much less as videos pop up, and leaving this firearm and others of way higher value inoperable. Seen SIGs. So far, I've seen SIGs and 1911s, and just people, talking about they had to spend money to send it to gunsmiths, in which, I might be able to take care of this kind of thing, but you might not be able to, and the next man might not be able to, or whatever. But people are spending money on having to take their whole gun collection down to the gunsmiths or whatever. God bless you if you have the money. But needless to say, they're having to wipe all this shit off that has been on their guns for some cases 2 years, and you got to break it down, get it to the new, to the unlubricated and dry, and then get all the frog lube off and get it in the chambers and blast that crap out. And I imagine I would heat up the slide and just try to lift that stuff up there and use my solvent to degrease it. But heating up and solvent, I know, works. You can heat up the slide a little bit with a hair dryer and get it to ooze that shit out and just clean it off, do what works. If your 1911 is jamming up because of something that was made in 2011, there's not a reason that 1911 was made in 1911 and is still around with natural solvent and natural lubrication. I don't care what brand, CLP, Hoppies, number 9, whatever brand it is. Give the fucker some solvent and some lubrication. Stay away from the Striker channel and rock on. I'm going to keep the video at that. But if you got brass whacking you in the face, I'm sorry. This is just something that you might have to deal with. You might shoot 20 different 19s or 26s or whatever. There's 45s and there's 40s that do it out there with lactose intolerant ammo that just ain't got the cojones to come out the ejection port with a little authority. Then get over it, you know what I'm saying? Or get a different pistol. Getting whacked, and it's not like, this gun comes with, well, I use the G17 Max. So you got 17 rounds in a magazine, 18 in the hole, with one in the hole. And I'm getting brass around the face, 3 or 4 of them. I don't think that that's going to affect me when shit hits the fan. So I'll keep it moving, You guys do the same and hold it down. Fight for the second. Keep it up on the first. And make sure, if you are contributing to the gun community, that you're doing it in a positive way. You people out there with the open carry laws that are carrying around AK-47s but can't have one in the chamber are not making any kind of a point other than look at me at this time. It's been done, it's been said, it's like the ice bucket challenge. We're done with it. Move on. Yes, we know that you can walk down the street with the AK, with the AR, with the SKS, with the Mosin, with the Glock, with the Ruger, with the SIG, with the motherfucking Tommy gun, with the Bushwhacker, fucking Bushmaster, whatever it is that you want to sling over your shoulder. God almighty, I give you full props doing it. But to put the video camera on as you're walking, you're just kind of asking to make media look at you, and people just look at me, look at the havoc or whatever I'm causing, and then street lawyers come along with this scene too, and I'm just kind of ranting a little bit, but you know, your point has been made. The videos are out there. I know this is just another Glock video, but you know, there's things pertaining in it that other than just this gun. There's a new president hitting the floor, and people feel real safe about their firearms, and that's about the time that, you know, shit can get real screwy. So don't get too safe in yourself. Keep your skin, you know, nice and loose, and keep your head on a swivel. Just stay alert and knowledgeable. If you're not learning something new every day, try to, you know. If you're not, and you're not open-minded to learning something new every day, I'm sorry, but I just have low patience for people that have hundreds and hundreds of weapons like this and can't even afford, or not afford, I'm not going to even say it. They're cutting themselves short by not even wanting to learn how to break their weapon down and clean it. So they go and spend hundreds of dollars. Let's say you have a 100 gun collection and you go and spend hundreds of dollars on frog lube or whatever. Lube all these some of them bitches up, and then you get a goobed up firing channel. It's just the way of the land, and you should have known it from the beginning that one lick and you never had to wipe it, or you never had to clean it. Come on, people, man. This is America. We know shortcuts lead us the long way, a path to home. Or that shortcut just leads you to the freaking squirrel lady that don't understand you don't want a squirrel and she's driving you nuts. But this is Blizzy. I am out of here. If you want to, hit the subscribe button, please. If you have any questions pertaining to the Glocks, I'll be glad to answer any of your questions and give you my opinion. This is my opinions of situations and things that I've dealt with. Had a lot of firearms over the days, and I like to stick with what works, and a normal gun lubrication, and brass flying at your face. If there's a bajillion videos of it doing the same thing, and everyone's done what I've done at least, then please understand that this is just your firearm, and maybe the ammo, if you use a higher grain ammo, it might go away, it may not, and if not, then it comes to decision time, and you can decide on whether to get rid of it. But when it's on your hip and you have to shoot somebody, if God forbid that happens, you are not going to be fucking worried about if a brass shell landed on your shoulder as you took out the perpetrator. Okay, so know the gun works. 99% chance, 90% chance you walk out of the gun store with a brand new Glock, Generation 4, Generation 3, whatever. You have a good chance of just loading that magazine up. You might have shot 150 of the same different model Glocks and bought one and walk out of the store, and it might save your life that day. I'm literally talking, you put it on your hip and you're carrying, but don't do that shit, please. I'm just making a point that this is a chance that it could. But if you do go buy a brand new gun, and I don't care what brand it is, and you don't fire it, and you just put it on your hip, load the magazine up, and forget about it, and then you carry it every day and haven't shot it, haven't gotten any training, do not educate yourself. Do not take any kind of defensive classes on learning how to work with these under stressful situations. You're not educating yourself enough. I'm going to tell you right now. When shit, it gets real, you cannot say without dealing with that situation ever before in your life what you would do. You could say, if someone pulled a gun on me, I would ninjutsu kick them in the fucking head, and until the gun is in your face or whatever, you could piss yourself and scream for mommy. You literally could. You really need to understand that when the shit gets real, you gotta learn how to deal. You know, that's a good line right there. When the shit gets real, you gotta learn how to deal. And it's really not much time to learn, so you just react. You know, and they say never draw on a drawn weapon. Well, I agree. You need to deal with the situation right then and there when it's in front of you. If someone's got a fucking gun pointed at your head, I cannot say if I would break the wrist Or does anybody want to take a roundhouse to the side of the head with these bad boys on? But I could tell you one thing. He would have a fight, and I know I would damn sure myself. God bless you, everybody.